Ethan Walker never thought his quiet evening walk with Max, his loyal German shepherd, would change his life, or the life of someone else, forever. He had lived in the small town of Willow Creek for 3 years, raising his 10-year-old daughter Lily after his wife passed away. A single dad juggling work and parenting, Ethan had grown used to life's struggles, but nothing could prepare him for what he stumbled upon that cold night. The streets were eerily still, the kind of quiet that only small towns know once the shops close and families retreat to their warm homes. Max tugged slightly on his leash, ears pricked, nose twitching at something Ethan couldn't yet see. They were just rounding the edge of Miller's Park, where the woods thickened, when Max suddenly bolted toward the trees, growling low. "Max! Heel!" Ethan hissed, trying to keep his voice steady, but Max refused. He pulled Ethan deeper into the shadows until Ethan's flashlight caught a glimmer. Something metallic on the ground. His stomach tightened. It wasn't just something. It was someone. A woman in a dark police uniform lay crumpled against the base of an oak tree, her breaths shallow, blood staining the crisp white shirt beneath her vest. Ethan froze for half a heartbeat, panic rising in his throat, until Max whimpered softly beside her, nudging her hand as if urging her to stay awake. "Dear God," Ethan whispered, dropping to his knees. "Officer? Can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered open, glazed with pain. "Help, ambush, they," she rasped before a fit of coughing overtook her. Ethan pressed his hand to her side, trying to slow the bleeding. His hands shook. He hadn't been this close to danger since his days working construction in the city. Back then, emergencies had been broken bones and accidents. Never this. He grabbed his phone and dialed 911, but the signal flickered uselessly. Out here, in this corner of the park, service was a coin toss. He looked at Max. "Go get help." Max barked sharply, as if understanding, then darted off toward the road, his paws pounding the dirt trail. Ethan refocused on the officer, whose nameplate read, Martinez. "You're going to be okay. Stay with me," he said, his voice firmer than he felt. Her eyes rolled, but she gripped his wrist weakly. "Don't let them find me," she whispered. Who's after you?" Ethan asked, scanning the dark woods. Her lips moved, forming a word he barely caught, cartel. The word made his blood run cold. Willow Creek was supposed to be safe, far removed from big city crime. But now, with an injured officer bleeding in his arms, Ethan realized safety was an illusion. Minutes felt like hours until Max returned, this time not alone. A car screeched to a halt near the trail entrance, and Ethan's heart leapt when he saw red and blue lights flashing. But his relief faded when he realized it wasn't a patrol cruiser, it was a black SUV. 2 men stepped out, their movements deliberate, predatory. Martinez's grip tightened on Ethan's arm. "Them," she breathed. Ethan's pulse thundered in his ears. He had to think fast. Scooping Martinez into his arms, he staggered deeper into the woods, praying Max would distract them. The German shepherd growled from the shadows, then burst out onto the trail, barking furiously at the men. "Over there," one shouted, raising a weapon. Gunshots cracked through the night, echoing through the trees. Max yelped but kept moving, darting into the brush, leading them away. Ethan's chest ached. He had sent his dog into danger. But Max was smart, trained to protect. Ethan had to trust him. Stumbling under Martinez's weight, Ethan pushed deeper into the park until he reached the old ranger's cabin, abandoned for years. He kicked the door open and laid her gently on the dusty floor. Her face was pale, lips trembling, but her eyes stayed fixed on him. "You should have run," she whispered. "I've run enough in my life," Ethan said quietly, tearing off his jacket and pressing it against her wound. "Not this time." For the next several minutes, he worked on keeping her alive, using skills he barely remembered from a first aid course years ago. He whispered encouragement, telling her about Lily, about Max, about how she wasn't allowed to give up tonight. Then came the sound that froze him, footsteps crunching outside the cabin. The door creaked, and Ethan's heart dropped. But instead of the men, Max burst through, panting, his fur matted with dirt. Behind him came the wail of distant sirens. Relief surged through Ethan's chest so hard it nearly broke him. Max had made it.